If you've been interested in film photography over the past few years, you would probably notice that there is a growing obsession over point-and-shoot film cameras. Now, this is especially true with one camera in particular, and that would be the Contax T2. If you've been in the market for a Contax T2, you've probably seen the prices skyrocket because of celebrity exposure. For example, we have Emma Chamberlain recently showing the Contax T2 in her videos, Zendaya taking pictures of her boyfriend, Tom Holland, and even Devin Booker using it courtside at a basketball game. Now, the question you're probably asking yourself right now is, do I need to spend over $1,000 on a point-and-shoot film camera to get great results? And the short answer to that question is probably not. And the best example of a point-and-shoot film camera that is affordable that also takes great images is the Olympus XA. So in this video, we're going to compare these two cameras and to get a better idea of how these cameras stack up against each other. I went down to the Kimball Art Museum in Fort Worth, Texas, to get some true side-by-side image comparisons so that you can make the right decision for yourself on which camera you should buy. So let's start out with the key differences between these two cameras. Now, the Olympus XA features a rangefinder patch focusing system with an in-body meter that will show you the shutter speed on the left side of the frame. The cool thing about this camera is that you have full control over where the focus is going to be. A lot of other point-and-shoot film cameras simply rely on autofocus. Now, quick note on the rangefinder of this camera: because it uses a patch mirror in the center of the frame to find focus, you're going to be very reliant on that. And at times, it can be extremely dim when you're trying to gain focus. This is something that is pretty well known with this camera, and really my only gripe with it. So that's something to be aware of. It especially affects me because I wear glasses, but that's pretty much the case with all film cameras and myself. So something to think about. Now, the Contax T2 features an electronic rangefinder system that basically shows you all of the shutter speeds on the left-hand side through a light indicator. And it also shows you if an image is in focus or out of focus through light indicators on the bottom of the frame. And another thing to touch on in the shooting experiences with these cameras and how they're different is that the Contax T2 has the ability to autofocus, and it's a pretty good autofocusing system. Pretty much 95% of the pictures that I've taken with this camera have been in focus when using the autofocus system, so I do trust it a lot. It does have the ability to use zone focusing on it. I hardly ever use it because I would just much rather trust the camera to do its job. The Contax T2 also has a built-in flash that is absolutely amazing. Thanks to the metering system in this camera, you can flash and pretty much trust that the image will be exactly where you want it to be in terms of exposure. It has the ability to light up a room, or it has the ability to isolate a subject. I really don't have any complaints when it comes to the flash system on this camera. Now, the Olympus XA does have the ability to utilize flash through this little external flash that you just hook onto the side. I've never personally used it, and I've been meaning to use it, but that is a difference between these two cameras, the Contax T2 having a flash on the camera and the Olympus XA having an external flash. Now, when it comes to the build quality, this is probably where we're going to see the most stark difference between these two cameras. The Olympus XA does not have the premium feel that the Contax T2 has. To be completely honest, when holding the Olympus XA, it kind of feels like we're holding a toy. The whole camera is made out of a plastic shell, and on my Olympus XA, you can kind of see that it is cracking in some areas here and there. I was aware that it was in this condition and I really didn't care. I just wanted to get something cheap that took great images. And when it comes to the Contax T2, I mean, this camera just feels amazing in your hands. It has a lot of weight to it, and obviously the premium feel that you're looking for when looking to justify paying this much money for this camera. Now let's talk about some of the key similarities of these two cameras. So both cameras feature an in-body meter, which is very useful when using film because you don't have to use any external meters to get the right exposure on a subject. They're both able to use aperture priority in order to gain exposure, which in my opinion, when using a point and shoot film camera, having the ability to control your aperture is so important to me. Just to be able to know that I can control the depth of field in an image gives me more confidence that an image will actually be in focus overall. For example, both these cameras can shoot at f2.8, which is amazing for portraits, and the fact that you can actually shoot f2.8 with these cameras is astounding, really. The Contax T2 also famously features the 35mm Carl Zeiss f2.8 lens, which in this camera, fitting that amazing glass into it is just a technical marvel. Both cameras do require batteries, which means that they both have electronic components. This is obviously something to be aware of when purchasing any type of film camera that's a little bit older, like both these cameras are. You just obviously want to make sure you're taking extra good care with them, because if you're not, you can accidentally cause the electronic components to fail and then your camera is dead. So something to be aware of for sure. Now let's talk about image quality with these cameras, which is honestly the most important one. That's why you clicked on the video. You want to know if there's a camera that takes great pictures for a more affordable price. And honestly, the answer to that question is, for the most part, yes. The Olympus XA does take great images that do stand up well to the Contax T2. You can see that through the pictures that I was able to take. And when I look back on the pictures, I'm very pleased that the Olympus XA can take similar looking images to the Contax T2. Now, if I'm being honest and looking at the pictures closely, the Contax T2 does beat out the Olympus XA by just a little bit, but that is what you would expect from a camera that is a lot more expensive. Now the question is, which one should you buy? And this answer obviously depends on you and your financial situation. Now for most people, if you're just looking for an affordable point and shoot film camera, I would 100% recommend you the Olympus XA. This camera truly is the essence of the pocket point and shoot film camera that you can just carry around anywhere to document friends, family, whatever the case may be. And you can expect good results when you're operating the camera correctly. So I don't think you have to spend thousands of dollars to get a camera that would deliver good results. And with that being said, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Contax T2. I've had nothing but great experiences with this camera. It really is a camera that embodies a very premium package that delivers amazing results. And like I said earlier, the fact that it does have Carl Zeiss glass on it, and it's just so simple to use. It has reliable autofocus, which the Olympus XA does not. I do completely understand why this camera is more expensive, and that is not me justifying why it is so expensive right now, but the market obviously moves how it moves. So I hope this video helped you make a decision on which camera you wanted to buy, or at least steered you in the right direction to find a point and shoot film camera. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I always appreciate it when you do. And until next time, peace.